searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way, yeah. Birds jumping and I hear my name, grasping into a life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah, light is gonna come. The birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were swung. Kids across the land. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah.
Good morning, everybody. Adjust the microphone here a little bit. How's everybody doing? Happy New Year. You all. Let me get myself situated here. There we go. So I'm not hearing a copy of myself going. There we go. Everything is good. Let's bring the game audio up and let's actually go the game. That was nice. Oh, welcome everybody. Welcome. It's November. January 1st, 2022, my friends. And going to be we're gonna kick it off with some Star Citizen here specifically. We're gonna kick it off with a little bit of mining and then we're gonna do some combat. Because I have some mining things, mining jobs already completed, and I managed to get my last run out. Oh, I don't have any quantum still. That's right, because I had some quantanium on my last run here, and it was down to the wire, and I didn't even refuel or anything. I just ran out of the ship and quickly stored it so it wouldn't explode. We're gonna go see if I can find some more where I was, and make sure everything is set and we're all fueled up and everything. Let's get comms up there. Good stuff. All right, let's go. So I think I was out at so we're at Microtech here. I want to say I went to Arc L4. No, you know what? I think I went to Crusader L3. Yeah, Arc L4 is a trap. That was there's nothing there except enemies. I think I went to Crusader L3 where I went. Let's set course for that. And we'll spin up our drives and get a little bit of a move on here. Where is the marker at? We got 30 million. Yeah, this is about right. 30 million kilometer jump ahead of us. There we go. Excellent. All right. Hope everyone's having a good kickoff to their new year. It's a rainy one out there for me right now, but otherwise a good one. And this is also time for me to sort of catch up on some news and whatnot. Let me get my news reader up here on the phone. And let's look through some gaming news and other related things as we have our nice long quantum jump here. I was thinking about pulling in like there's a card game that I play sometimes. I was thinking of having that for like quantum jumps too, like I could toggle between the two, but I don't have that set up right now, and I don't want it interfering too much with what's going on. So anywho, let's see here. I want all gaming news. Okay. What do we got going on here? Oh yeah, that's right. Just a reminder for anybody, over on the EGS store, Epic Games Store, you can get Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider free the next couple days. I was having trouble with and these are the remake ones. These are the remake Tomb Raiders, the newer ones, I should say, not the old ones. I was having a little trouble with the Tomb Raider 20th anniversary edition or whatever it was. It just kept saying it wouldn't add it, but Rise of Tomb Raider and Shadow of Tomb Raider went in fine for me, so I'll just have to try again on that other one. But yeah, even if you don't use the Epic Game Store and stuff, like I still would grab any free stuff that they have on there. And just, if you don't want to use that launcher, then just download Play Night and use that launcher, which is what I use for all my stuff now, because I don't have to worry about having 20 launchers open. It'll launch Steam games, it'll launch GOG games, it does all that stuff. One of the nice things too is it has a plugin that I've downloaded, the community contributed plugin that will automatically, since I have Game Pass as well, Microsoft Game Pass, titles go on and off of Game Pass every month, and so it'll automatically sync your library with Game Pass, so you can see right away, like, oh, I have access to this for free, I shouldn't go buy it, that kind of thing. Or you no longer have access to it, so it'll remove it. It'll remove it if you haven't installed it anyway. If you've installed it, it'll keep it on your list, but otherwise it keeps that in sync, which is kind of nice. Also, I believe GOG Galaxy launcher does that too, so if you don't want an open source thing. Stardew Valley may get more updates. I mean, why not? That thing was a money printing machine, let me tell you. I looked briefly into modding Stardew Valley, because I want to play Stardew Valley. I haven't recorded. I played like a little bit here and there, but I've never like recorded it or streamed it or anything. But I kind of do want to do that at some point. But the thing that always keeps me from playing it is that I don't like the time crunch pressure, where you have to get back into your house by the end of the day and all that stuff. Like, to me, it takes what was usually what should be a pretty chill game, and it makes it like a little bit stressful, because you want to get stuff done, but you're constantly having to run back to your house and all that stuff. And so one of the things I was looking at was they have a modding API and stuff. I was looking at maybe writing a mod just for myself, where it would not force you to go back into your, like, the day wouldn't progress, but it also wouldn't, like, the time would just stop like a minute before it would normally, make you pass out on the ground or something like that. So that you could just keep going for as long as you want, but you still have to go back to your bed to progress the day to the next day, but you can still keep just doing your thing, and it'll still be nighttime and all that stuff, so there won't be any like villagers around and stuff like that. So to me, that seems like a decent middle ground, where you're not making the game easy mode, but at the same time you're not destroying the spirit of it, so much. You're just kind of taking some of the time crunch away from it. 10 games with the most Game of the Year awards in 2021. I wonder. So, obviously, Resident Evil is one of them, but I know whatchamacallit got a lot of accolades. Deathloop, and I don't know that was entirely deserving of so many. I mean, from what I've seen of it. I mean, admittedly, I still have it in my library. I haven't played it yet, but I've seen some playthroughs of it, of bits and pieces of it, and it seemed more linear than I was anticipating it would be. So let's see. Top 10 games that racked up the most Game of the Year award. It Takes Two. Okay, that's good. 47 awards. Resident Evil Village, 40 awards. Deathloop, 26. That makes it third. Forza Horizon 5, another game I have got to get playing that, man. I have not played it at all yet. I love all the Forza Horizon games. Metroid Dread with 21. Forbes, crying out loud, not popping up things on mobile. Jesus. Halo Infinite has 19 awards. Returnal, 15. Ratchet and Clank A Rift Apart, 14. Okay. God, no. Don't send me notifications. Jesus. Like every time I scroll, like 2 inches. Like, you want this? Here's a video. You want notifications? No, go the F away. Number 9 was Psychonauts 2 with 10 awards. That's surprising me because I guess that is kind of a niche game, but a lot of people have anticipated that game. And Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy had 8 awards. Another game that I own that I need to play because I've seen a few beginnings of a few Let's Plays of that, and that looked really interesting. All right, so we're out of Quantum now. See if we can find ourselves a good rock to mine, one with some quantitanium in it, if we can help it. That would be swell. That would be darn swell. What we got here? Not getting any pings yet. It usually takes the server a hot minute to give me some actual pings here for mineable rocks. Which is kind of the weird thing, right? It's like you see all these rocks around here, and yet the vast majority of them are not mineable, which is kind of annoying. There we go. Get up there. Let's slow down a bit. Totally going the wrong way here. Here comes them back in. Really turn on a dime. Alright. What do we have here? What kind of rock is this? If you'll let me know. Won't give me what kind it is. Let's go up to it and see what it is with our mining beam. Now, usually if it has quantitanium in it, it looks like it's got diamonds. It'll have like a red, like a rusty view. Doesn't have one though, so this is probably not pay dirt here, but let's see what our mining beam says it is. Alright, scanning. 23% tungsten, 2% lestonite. Yeah. Okay. Where is it? There's another one down there. Click. Zero in on it. Did I switch over to the... Good, okay. Making sure I switch my headphones over to the correct computer here. I can hear at least some portion of what you guys can hear. Not the same volume. Kind of annoying. Love to know what to hear it at the same volume so I know if I've got the volume right or not. This scan is not working well. My normal scanner is just not cutting it here.
Crusader guests and residents, I have an important security update. We have once again received word that outlaw elements are plotting to move against a station in our sector. Although it is my belief that security forces will be able to deal with this threat before it emerges, it is encouraged that you take extra precautions while traveling. Thank you.
I don't know, is that the, whatchamacallit, Nine Tails threat or whatever? Special event? Probably. Okay, can I see if we can encourage us to tell me what it is?
Attention. I have been authorized to scan your vehicle for security purposes. Please hold your vehicle and stand by.
You're gonna scare me right now.
Okay, thanks. You're clear to proceed.
All times to get scanned by security. Two security guys. Thought I saw them show up. What's going on here? Why can't I scan this thing? Alright, this rock is bugged out here. Just because these guys are freaking following me. What's going on? Oh, is it because they're following me? There's a symbol there. I guess it's because they're following me, I can't do anything here. What's going on? We have another hit up here. Get away from those. Are they gonna just follow me around and just be a pain in my butt here? Well, I'm trying to do some mining here, guys. Go bother somebody else. No? Yeah, it's not giving me any details on these rocks here. There we go, that symbol just went away. See what this, maybe I can scan this now. Yeah, look at that, now I can. Tungsten and stuff. Not what I'm looking for. here. I already scanned this one. Oh, here we go. Here's Quantanium. Okay. What I'm looking for. Yeah, see, you can see it's got red splotches in it. Alright. Got our mining beam out. Let's do this. 2%, huh? Alright, well, we'll see what we can get from it. Once I get a full load of ore, whatever ore may be, we'll drop it off back at the refinery, and then I'll do up my Aurora, and we'll go do some goody bang. Hopefully there are AI bounties and stuff hanging around. And I suppose I could try that other thing, but I'm not sure how that works, and I feel like doing it solo is probably a bad idea, but I guess I could try it. Try whatever this event is that's going on, maybe. But, you know, stay on the lawful side of it. Good. What do you have? Oh, 7%. Okay. Very unstable too, it looks like. Bar to go up just a little bit at a time there. We still have a nice optimal range though. Yeah. All right. Okay, you're 12%. I'll save that till the end because I have 15 minutes to get it back to the station before it explodes. Okay, that's completely inert. I don't need anything there from that one. You're 100% quartz. Well, that's good.
People of Crusader, the criminal group known as the Ninetails has cut off all
Yeah, it's the Ninetail, huh?
around Bountiful Glen Station. Crusader Security has dispatched forces to resolve this issue. Until then, we advise all civilian ships to avoid this area until further notification, and request that all qualified mercenary forces assist us during this emergency. Thank you.
I guess I could try the Ninetails thing. It's the what it's like. I have a feeling doing it solo is going to be a bad idea, but I can try it. Why not? There we go. Here, all these pieces should be 100% quartz. So that'll be good. Make sure though. Yep. Okay. 15, so about half almost. That's completely inert. Alright, so we can start to take this in since it's about half, right? What about this guy? What do you have on you? You got very little on titanium. Don't have any. Looks like 0 point something there. And stuff. Let's break this guy up. Let's see if I can get 100% one out of it. Like 100% chunk, or close to 100% chunk of, because it doesn't have any inert materials in it. It's just got quartz and that, so at least get some good things out of it, hopefully. Go. Percent quartz there. Okay, 23%. All right, let's do this one. Back there, was that got also 100% quartz? Grab the can out of this guy. Will give us some inert materials, unfortunately. Mining is going pretty good. Pretty good. Although I'm not getting a whole lot of titanium. I'm getting mostly quartz here, but you know, it's working out. Pull up our tank here. What we get? Yeah, 100% quartz there. cargo full. Let's go back to where we need to go. Here. And get rolling. Do I do a lot of mining? I do a fair amount. I do a lot of, probably do more bounty hunting stuff just because, like, I'll haul a load of goods here and then it takes, like, I use the slow method of refining, so, like, I let it go for a day. So I'll just, like, do a little bit of mining at the beginning, just get some work orders going, and then do a lot of bounty, like, mostly the AI bounty hunting stuff. Trying to get enough money for two things. I need something to carry all my, mined goods, which I don't have anything to really carry it. I mean, I've got a Titan, but it barely, it doesn't carry enough cargo. So I often have to rent a ship to do it. And then I also want to get like a better fighter ship than what I've got. Like right now I've got the starter Aurora MR or whatever it is, which it works, pretty good, but it's really not as maneuverable or anything as some of the other ones. So yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. I like to do, the box delivery missions. I just wish they would, I wish I could, as I've said times in the past, I wish I could put shelves in the back of my Titan so that when you pick up boxes you can actually, like, put them on shelves rather than having to put them on the ground all the time. That gets a little bit annoying, but then again, I mean, once using the tractor beam, you can just kind of toss them on there with the tractor beam too, I guess, so this doesn't really matter all that much. But I would like to build up my reputation in the delivery stuff. I do like the delivery stuff. I want to, I think next year I guess it's this year now. They're going to, in one of the next patches this year, they're going to introduce AI, like Uber driving, so you can actually transport passengers, AI passengers around, and that would be fantastic. I've been waiting for that, because that would be the thing that would get me to buy like a luxury vehicle or something, so I could just drive them around. Yeah, 3 months. Yeah, that's why I hope they put enough. I know it's tier 0, but I hope they put enough into it that it's like, viable for making money and is somewhat fun, because I would love that. Like, that's kind of the things that I'm looking at. Like I like the mining. I would like the Uber driving kind of thing, and I would also like, when they eventually get it, like some kind of scanning and stuff, being able to go out and do some exploration and things like that. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do the exploration, because there's a known universe that everything kind of fits into. But it would be kind of nice if they did like maybe a procedurally generated wormhole thing. Like maybe you find a wormhole and it just takes you somewhere that's completely procedurally generated, so you can, like, every experience is a little bit different.
Your community needs you. The station currently being blockaded by the Ninetales is in desperate need of supplies. Crusader security requests all ships able to make the run to do so. Compensation will be adjusted to match the additional risk.
Part of the rep system, so the better you are and get a good rating, you get higher paying jobs. Yeah, I would think that would be what they would want to do as well. Yeah, have it part of the rep system. I mean, I've already got the rep system in there, so it would make sense for me that it would be like that. And that's fine. I don't mind working up to, like, the higher paying jobs. It's just, I hope that, like, it'll be interesting to see how they do it. You know, like, is it going to be like, I imagine in my head a tier 0 would be more like I land somewhere, I get the contract, and then when I pull out the ship, the AI will just magically be on there, right? Whereas like a tier 1 might be something like, oh, you park in a commercial area and then you wait and then you watch the AI come walking onto your ship through the airlock or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that'd be kind of cool to just see the passengers coming on board and all that stuff, or even to have like you know, at some point, like being able, if you could, hire like flight attendants and stuff to keep them happy in the back and everything. I mean, that'd be cool stuff. Be like flight sim, but in space. I wouldn't mind that at all. But yeah, I think that's really just the thing right now. Is like they're kind of in this weird, kind of in this weird middle ground where they're clearly an alpha, but they're also kind of a live service, kind of. You know what I mean? They're kind of an MMO that's running as a live service thing, and I think they're largely treating it like it's alpha, which is fine. But it also means that small things that would really help out, that really keep everybody interested, aren't really being looked at. Like more variety of package deliveries and more variety of bounty missions and stuff like that. Like they added like atmospheric bounties now, which is good, although most of the ones that I've seen have been in atmosphere, which is a little rough for me being on mouse and keyboard, but it's fine. I don't mind that. I'm glad they added variety there, but also, you know, it'd be nice if they had other things that kind of support these things. I know that they have a whole lot of fish to fry at once, but there's some smaller things that they could do, even as just stopgap measures, you know, that would just help out in the short term, even if they end up changing, you know. Yeah, I definitely want to get a dual joystick set up at some point, because I've seen people using them to great extent and how fun they look like they would be. But yeah, mouse and keyboard in atmosphere is pretty rough. You know, we'll see if I can find some bounties today that aren't in atmosphere. That'd be nice, because all the ones I've seen so far that were AI generated have been atmospheric ones, which makes it a little bit rougher. But you know, it is something different, and I applaud them for bringing that in. Okay, where is ATC to talk to me here? Not there yet. Yeah, I've heard that a lot too from people who use the joystick. They can never, once they use it, they can never go back, which is great. I mean, that just means that the controls are really well put together. Although I have heard that some people are using like third-party tools to map the joysticks and whatnot, because trying to do it in-game, every time there's an update, it tends to lose your key bindings and stuff. So that's stuff I have to look into. Let me get over here without crashing into everything. That's good. You've not had that issue? Oh, okay. That's good to know, because I would like to know what the typical experience is for joystick users before I jump into it, because I don't have any. I own a joystick, but it's a crappy USB one, and I want to get one of the kind of nicer models. Okay.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Let's run out of here and get this stored before it decides to explode on me. Come on, door open. Alright. Yeah, because I've been looking at the dual joysticks and foot pedals and stuff like that. See what I can get. I have a stand that I bought for them that I bought specifically so I could see if I could, see how it feels and what kind of height it has and all that stuff before I actually bought the sticks, so I could make sure that everything would kind of work out. Whoops. Alright, so this way. I do like how every one of these stations is laid out slightly differently. It's like you're used to a certain layout, and then you go to another station like, oh, okay, well, everything's here, but they're all slightly different. Oh, I also do programming. Yes, so ordinarily, my day job is as a Java developer. I don't do like video games or anything like that. I do just business applications, web applications. I am full stack, so I do UI, I do middle tier, I do database stuff. I've been doing that for almost 20 years now. Be 20 years, I think, next year, 2023. And then I'm also, when I was in college, I wrote a little bit in C and C++. Dabbled in Pascal, assembly. I did a stint at a company for a year in Ruby on Rails. And I'm also writing some code that I'm hoping to contribute to Glimish, which is another streaming site that I'm currently streaming onto, in addition to Twitch and everything else. And they're written in Elixir, so I just learned Elixir. Well, learned it enough to do what I'm doing there. So I'm hoping to actually, after I get done the stream tonight, I'm hoping to get my pull request together and see if they'll take on the new feature I wrote. I wrote an auto hoster, so I can host other channels. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Let's see what's going on there. Try and come up with a web app for Star Citizen to help with mining. That would be really good. That'd be really, really good. Even just, I mean, I know there's sites out there that do trading. Like even being able to know where to trade your stuff at, that's up to date. Like I think the trading sites that are out there now, they rely on people to actually add, change the prices and stuff in there, and then they show you like most recent price based on players who have submitted information to it. But if there was an API way of just being like, here's where you go, like here's where the best mining is. Here's where to sell your ore. You know, here's the best prices you're going to get for your ore. That would be fantastic. Yeah. Because that's, because right now I just kind of, you know, after I pick up the ore, I just kind of just pick a place. Like I'll pick Area 18, or I'll pick, you know, Loreville or something, and just say, and just sell it all there, whether it's the best place to sell it or not. So. Oh yeah. No, it definitely doesn't show anything for mining, that trading site. That's why I say, yeah, it would be best to like have something. Say like, oh, here's where you go to here's the best mining area. Like not only here's the best mining area, but like how to find, like what kind of equipment you need. Because I know I went to whatchamacallit, I think it was Lyria, and there were some quantanium rocks down there on the planet's surface that I was trying to mine with my prospector. But it turns out you really need two. You either need a mole to get it, so you have two mining things, or you need two prospectors to mine it. And that was kind of a bummer, because I was like, well, I can't grab it on my own unless I just didn't have the right equipment. That's the other thing I was wondering, like, did I not have the equipment for it and all that stuff? You know, programs are really hard to start making that. Yeah, well, I mean, how can I put this? I never sought out being a programmer. I guess, like, when I was growing up, I knew I liked computers, and I wanted to do something with computers, but I didn't know what. And I honestly believed, you know, it's funny to think of it nowadays, but I honestly believe that the people who wrote the hardware wrote the software. I, you know, came to find out that that's not the case at all. You know, there's software people and there's hardware people. You know, and so what got me interested in programming was I had a catalog for Electronics Boutique, because I liked games, I liked PC games and everything. And I had the Electronics Boutique catalog, which is now GameStop. And in there they had, like, they were selling a book that was like Teach Yourself Game Programming in 21 Days. Book that I still have. The binding is all messed up on it, but I still have it. And
Thank you. And please visit again.
I wonder if I could do something with that. And then I bought that. I was like, oh yeah, I'd like to make my own games. This would be great. And from that actually taught me C, how to program in C, and how to program a little bit in assembly. And it was just kind of, that was the snowball effect, right? That was the thing that got me interested in writing code. Now, I originally wanted to go into games and writing games, and then I found out that you just don't get paid well to write games at all. You get paid much better to just write business applications. So that kind of steered me towards that. But yeah, it's just like, you have a need for something. I don't think anybody thinks, oh, I'm going to just wakes up one day and is like, I want to be a programmer. I think everybody just kind of is like, I have a real need for something and I don't see anything out here that does this. What would it take to do this? And then as you start to say, like, what would it take to do this? You're now open up to the possibility of, hey, maybe I could learn a language and kind of do this. At least do some form of this. I mean, the first things you write are not going to be the greatest things in the world, but they'll give you the experience and they'll give you the knowledge that you need to make something really good. So, Mine worth thinking. No, that's not it. Was there not... There's delivery. Illegal blockade, medical supplies needed. How much new medical supplies? The medical supplies because of the increased risk. Oh, interesting. Alright. Go pick up a bounty hunter thing. Well, let's go somewhere where I can get a decent bounty hunter thing. Skyline. Down to Hurston here. I'll take most of my fuel anyway. Yeah, I mean it's that process of researching what it takes that tends to be the inspiration you need to kind of just to roll with it, you know. And the one thing I would encourage though is like, don't worry about what language you pick. Like if you've never written anything before, don't really worry about what language you pick. Worry more about, you know, what do you want to do? You know, because a lot of people will say, well, what's the best language to get started in? And honestly, it's not. There's not really a bad choice, right? Because pretty much every language out there that has any kind of support, any kind of community support, they all sort of borrow from one another, you know. An if statement is an if statement is an if statement. Conditional is a conditional is a conditional. Pretty much across the board. A variable is a variable is a variable, you know. It's just it comes down to syntax and what one language designer prefers over another, you know. And once you learn that syntaxes are, the general concepts are the same between one language and another, you start to pick up other languages fairly quickly, you know. You could write the whole thing in JavaScript, which is probably the easiest thing to start in because you have all the tools you need to write it right now, right? Like with Windows, you have Notepad or TextPad or Notepad++ or whatever, and you've got a web browser, right? Like if you wanted to start writing in JavaScript, boom, you've got all the tools you need right there. You know, you just start writing HTML pages on your computer, open them up in your browser, and see what they do. You know, and then from there, it just continues on. You know, there's other free solutions like Visual Studio Code is what I use for the Elixir development stuff. Java has a bunch of free tools as well, you know. You're going to write in C#, but a friend told you don't use C#, use Python. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it really matters. Use whatever you feel comfortable with. C# is a little more heavy-handed than Python, syntax-wise. C# also is, how can I put this? C# is also more mainstream in the way it does things. In other words, the concepts that you learn in C# are very, very similar to a lot of the base level languages. So, data structures and variables and the syntax. I mean, C# syntactically, C# is almost identical to Java, right? Java takes a lot of its syntax from C. C Sharp takes a lot of its syntax from C and C++ as well. So they all kind of build. They all kind of build upon one another. Python can be a little bit weird because it's a good language, but it kind of goes off and does its own little thing there, where it's got like most other languages have the concept of most other languages don't care about white space usually, except in very specific circumstances. When you have a block of code, there's a delimiter for that block of code, like the do keyword and an end, or a begin and an end, or an open brace and a closing brace. Python cares a lot about indentation. So in order to do like a block of code, you indent it, and then those indents are important, and that can kind of throw you for a little bit of a loop. I mean, most people will indent their code anyway when they're inside blocks, so it's not a huge thing, but it can kind of mess with the way you perceive languages later on when you realize that other languages don't care about that. Like, you could write an entire program in one line that has just, all the code separated by semicolons or something, and most compilers wouldn't care. Most humans would care, but most compilers wouldn't. So it's a trade-off. But then again, Python has a lot of libraries. Python is widely considered something relatively easy to get into. It definitely has some good, there are entire server-based applications that are written in it. So it's not a bad choice. Like I said, there's no real bad choice to anything. It just comes down to what you have the stomach for, as far as the syntax and all that goes. Some things are a little bit more. It also depends on how advanced some things are too. Python is used a lot as a scripting language, so it kind of gets you into the mindset of scripting languages. Whereas something like Ruby, or something like Rails, I should say, and like Elixir has a whole lot of server context to it. So it brings in a whole lot of like, here's controllers and here's views and here's models, and it has a lot of like tools that kind of all work together. And in order to write in the language, you kind of have to know how the tools work around it. Whereas something like Python, it has tools, but you can jump right into it without having to know how the tools work. Like, you can just open up a notepad and run it from the command line, and run your program from the command line and be done with it. So it depends on how much of that other ancillary stuff you want to deal with. Some of that can be pretty overwhelming, especially if you've never like run a server locally, or you've never there's these data concepts that you've never seen before. So yeah, I mean, from that perspective, Python can be really good. Perl can also be pretty good for that, although it's a bit long in the tooth. Been out there forever and ever and ever, so it may not be the main choice anymore. What do we got here? Let's get all the arms. And what we got is bounty assessment. Sure, I guess. Okay. And let's grab some of these. That. And a tracker license. Let's get that one because it gives us higher level stuff. Let's make that the one that we're tracking. Alright, so where is he at? And he's on Aberdeen. Like, alright, away we go. So need to learn how to set up a database. I want users who want to use the app to create their own profile so they manage work orders from the app. Also set a timer so they know where to mine jobs are stored and when the jobs are complete. Looking into MySQL for a database for storing user info on the site. Sure. MySQL would work. I don't know if you're using Python. I don't know what is the best choice for Python because I haven't written very much in it. As far as web apps go, I usually just use it for scripting mostly. But if it's possible, depending on what language you choose, and obviously, you know, look around the community for it. You did the hello world code for both C# and Python. Notice fewer lines of code you need to make a Python. Yes, you will have fewer lines of code in Python. Yes. You definitely will. But you also have to look at, like, yeah, you have to look at the tools around it, because it sounds like to me you want a, I don't know, you're probably going for a distributable application, something that people can just download and use. So I don't know how Python packages its stuff for use like that, but you know, that might work. I don't know what would be the best database for you to use. I hesitate about MySQL because MySQL years ago, when I was working for Oracle, was bought by Oracle, and it's I can tell you that Oracle has a bad reputation for not properly supporting the stuff that it captures. Not properly supporting the apps and stuff that fall under its purview. So, oops, okay, yeah. Missile inbound. I would say if you can, and this really depends on if you can in Python or not. That's what you're going to select. If you can, try to see if you can get PostgreSQL to work, because you'll have a better time with it, I suspect, than you will MySQL. Because MySQL works, but who knows for how long it'll work. Is really my thing there. And hang on, I know you wrote more stuff there. I can't see the chat right at the moment. I'm in combat. Oh boy. Sphere combat. Oh, what the? Did I hit the ground? No, I am too far up and hit the ground. I think I hit one of these guys hit me. Ran into me. so hard with mouse and keyboard. Jesus. Prefer the space battles. They're much easier to deal with. Okay, got that guy down. These other... Man, there's so many here. Holy crap. He's down.
Shields damaged.
Come on. What are you in? You're in Aegis Eclipse? Okay. Just realized too. Ooh, nope, nope. Right. Just realized too I don't have voice attack on. That. Turn that on. Come on, come on. Okay, another one down. Jesus, they sent everything at me. You look like you're in yeah, Stalker, I was gonna say. Ooh boy. Okay. Okay. Ooh, come on. Come on, don't bang into him. Okay. There's one more guy over here, isn't there? Wait, wasn't there one more guy? He's just not engage me any further? Huh, okay. Maybe I should count my luck, count myself lucky and get out of the atmosphere here. Okay. Oof, that was a thing. Oh, so you wanna do a web app, like a calculator sites. Yeah. I do know of companies that have used Python to make their web apps. So there's obviously tools out there for that. I mean, you got to remember though, there comes a point where you have to learn all the different tools, how the servers work, and all that stuff. That's not just programming is not the only thing that comes into that. Like, you'd have to manage a server and all that stuff. Find some server space. Likely pay for it as well, probably. So there's a lot that goes into that. That's one of the funny things about programming, is that you go into it thinking that it's going to be you're just going to be writing code all the time, and you come out of it realizing that there's a lot of other pieces to the puzzle that you end up learning. You learn SQL, so you can write SQL to bring stuff out of the database. You learn the language of your choice. You learn how Linux is set up and how to install things. You learn all kinds of stuff all around it. Very rewarding when everything comes together, but at the same time, it's a lot. It can be quite a lot, especially if you're doing it by yourself and you don't have like anyone to guide you. It takes a while. You're going to spend a lot of time in Google just trying to figure things out, and most of that time in Google is not learning how something works, but more trying to figure out if the way someone has solved the problem is the correct way of solving the problem. But there are like lamp installs, LAMP is usually Linux and PHP, but I think there's a Python kind of thing there too. So part of that is not only you're going to learn Python, but you have to learn SQL. So as far as like what database to do, you could certainly get by with MySQL. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just I don't know how much support MySQL has from Oracle anymore. Like, are there known bugs, known vulnerabilities and stuff that haven't been patched? I don't know. I just know whenever Oracle takes a hold of something that isn't Oracle database, it usually goes to the crap. It usually goes to the crapper. So Postgres is the more popular one that actually works really well. It's POSTGRESQL, PostgreSQL. That works out well. That supports everything you need probably, and then some. It works on all the different operating systems and all that fun stuff. So you might want to look into that rather than MySQL. But then again, it depends on whether Python, what kind of support Python has as far as drivers go with Postgre. I imagine it's probably pretty good because Postgre is one of the more popular open source ones out there, or community driven ones out there. So probably won't have a hard time finding that. The other thing is too, by sticking to something popular, and here's the other thing. It can be tempting to just pick any old libraries and use them. But what I tend to do, even professionally, is I try to find libraries and stuff that are popular in the community, even if they don't necessarily do everything you want them to do, but they come close. Just because when you run into problems, and you will inevitably run into problems that something doesn't work the way you thought it worked. If a lot of people use that library, chances are good someone else has run into that same problem, and there's an answer sitting out there waiting for you to find it on like Stack Overflow or something like that. So that's why I tend to like stick to like the more popular something is, the more popular community libraries and things like that. So, and there's certainly a good big community of Python users and stuff, so you shouldn't have too much of an issue finding answers to your questions. I can't really help you too much with that, but I don't use that in any real capacity, in any like non-toy capacity, I guess. Where's this guy? Oh, good. Everything seems to be in this general vicinity. Is he? No, this is going to be another atmospheric one, isn't it? I wonder if I should prepare myself before I get over there. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Let's go without the repairs. Well, that's good. I try to be helpful. One of the nice things, and this was always, I found this to be weird, given my interactions with like the programming communities and stuff. But for some reason, like the programming community is actually rather helpful, like in general. Like you can pretty much, if you've run into something, there's a good chance, or you have questions or something like that, there's a good chance you'll find some really good answers around on Google and on the community. The programming community as a whole has been very, very good with like answering questions and just kind of being helpful to newbies and all that stuff. which is why it's so weird. Like when I was trying to learn how to do like streaming and, you know, video production and stuff, there's none of that. Like trying to figure out what people's hardware setups were, how they optimize their streams and everything. Like they don't share any information at all, which is just the weirdest thing at all, because, you know, in programming, people share all the time. They're just like, oh yeah, I did this way, or I did this, or I found this neat way of doing this, and you know, I kind of like the way this code looks as opposed to the way that code looked, and you know, here's the standards that we follow and all that stuff. So in terms of like when you have questions and stuff like that, if you get really good at Google, your Google foo is up to snuff, you'll find some really good stuff out there. Some really good information out there. So that's the one really nice thing about just the programming community in general. It's certainly not apparently shared by any other community. But it's certainly good for that. And you said you had you did like the Hello World stuff. Okay. Now there. You said you did the Hello World stuff. There's likely some Hello World-ish code for like writing Python as a web app kind of thing. So that's also something good to just keep an eye on, to take a look at, because writing, you know, a simple Hello World that runs on the command line is quite different than one that actually runs on a server that you can navigate to on your browser and all that stuff. They share similarities, certainly, but it's always good to see how that comes together. Because one of the hard things whenever you start up a new project, even for me, after all these years of writing web apps, one of the hardest things is getting all the initial pieces together just to get the web app to like boot in a server. Right? Like Java is notorious for this, where it's like you've got like 20 or 30 different files you kind of have to put together and formulate before you can get a web app that even shows you like one page that has Hello World on it, you know? So you know, make sure, you know, based on your end goal, make sure you know where you're going with it. And don't bite off more than you can chew either. Like, I know you want to do mobile and all that stuff, but I can tell you I've done zero mobile stuff in my career because there are people who specialize just in that. And it is a whole other beast in and of itself. Which is why a lot of sites will just be like mobile compatible, i.e. they work in a mobile browser but don't have like a fat like an app store app that you can download. Because like I said, there are people who do nothing but that for their entire career. It takes a different set of skills. And it's always better to go small at first. You know, write out on a piece of paper what is there's a concept in programming, and this is something I've been doing even with like like with the auto host feature that I've been working on for Glimish. There's a concept in programming where it's called minimum viable feature or minimum viable product in your case. And basically that says, like, look at your audience and write down the absolute minimum that you would need to do in order to at least get them to buy into what you're doing, you know, and stick to that first as your day one, right? Because what happens is it's very easy to start going down the rabbit hole of like, well, it'd be nice to have this, it'd be nice to have that, it'd be nice to have this on top of that and this on top of that. And then suddenly you're bogged down with a code base that is disorganized and just rapidly spiraling out of control as far as what you're looking at and how you can debug it, and you don't have these certain tools in place that you need for this next thing, and you have some half implemented thing here and some half implemented thing there. It's just like, just look at your core thing. What is the absolute minimum you need for what you want to do? Laser focus on that. Get that looking the way you want it to look. Get that working the way you want it to work, at least for a day one thing. And then once you've got that there, you'll have that experience of all the things that went into making that. And then you can look at all that stuff and go, all right, this is my first draft. If you think of it as like you're writing a novel, be like, this is the first draft of my novel. And okay, I'm reading through it and there's some shaky parts here and there. So let's go back and refactor some of those and make the wording, make it flow a little bit better, make it a little bit more interesting here, that kind of thing. Oh, you know, there's this area here that I don't have any visibility into, so when it breaks, I can't tell why it broke because I don't have any logging in place or something like that. It would be nice if I had some logging over here and those kinds of things. And if you do that on a small scale, you'll find that you'll start to get some things in there that you hadn't ever considered. And then by the time you get all that in place and you start putting things on top of it, it becomes easier to bring more things in and have them just kind of work for you without having to pull teeth. You know, and that's really the main thing is like, just you don't have to, your first release doesn't have to be your last release. You know what I mean? Your first release is day one. There's a reason why people say day one and day two, right? And it's a skill. It's a hard skill to learn. What's 500 meters? 500 kilometers? 100 there. 100 there. I guess we'll just fly towards them. Stay up in orbit and fly towards them. Manually. Turn that off. Yeah, that's an issue that everyone has. That's why I pointed out, like, when you think about, so let's take for instance the auto hosting feature that I've been working on since it's fresh in my mind for Glimish. So we got a streaming site that you can stream gameplay and all that stuff to. You want to host another channel because you want people who like your channel to maybe they'd be interested in this other channel. You look at like, what's the minimum viable feature here? Well, I want to be able to go onto a page and I want to be able to add another channel as a hosting target. And when I'm offline, I want the system to be able to detect that I'm offline and that this other person is online, and then it should host it. You know, so somebody landing on my page will get redirected to this other page, and have a message saying, "Oh, this page is being hosted." You know, like I am hosting this page, kind of thing. And then you just kind of look at that and you laser focus on that. And you're like, okay, this is minimum here. And then if you when you start thinking about it more, you're like, well, you know, it'd be really good if it sent a chat message whenever it was hosted, and it'd be really good if it, you know, did some of these other things. And it's like, you don't really necessarily need those for the first iteration. What you need is just enough to like get everybody who doesn't know what you're going for on board with what you're going for, right? Now, it's kind of weird for something like a streaming site because you're dealing with the general public who doesn't generally want to look at your roadmap to see what's coming, or maybe doesn't know that you have a roadmap of what's coming. So you kind of have to do a little bit more for them than you would like someone who's already bought in. But you don't have to do everything. And the best thing you can do is just kind of zero in as much as you can on that one piece. Get that working, get that, you know, solid, get, you know, tested and everything else. And then slowly expand out from there. You know, it's good to have ideas. Having ideas is a great thing. Write them all down somewhere, obviously. Go on, you can even go on like a site like Trello and get a free, you can sign up for free there, and that gives you a whole board where you can put your ideas on the board and see like, this is, you know, I want this is like day 2 or this is like day 3, and you can organize them and all that stuff. You know, whatever you need to do, or just write them down on a notebook, you know. But then always ask yourself, okay, what is the absolute minimum I need for this to be useful, you know? And just focus on that and get that piece working. And if you do it well, most people will be like, okay, this is not everything I wanted, but it's a good start and it's better than what I have now, you know. And you kind of get them to buy in on what you're doing, and they're more likely, once they're bought in, they're more likely to stick with it and be like, okay, you know, oh, look, this is a nice new feature coming down. Okay, good. You know, that kind of thing. That's always that's the hardest part of it. It's just kind of, you know, you're at the end of the day, and this is something I tell a lot of the young programmers when we hire them and stuff. At the end of the day, you're a problem solver, right? There's a problem that the business has, and you're the guy that needs to come up with the solution. And the solution you come up with doesn't have to be the perfect solution, but it doesn't, you know, it doesn't have to be the ultimate solution either. You know, it has to work. It has to be functional it has to address the problem at hand, but it doesn't have to be the be all and do all of how to address that problem. Because there's 9 ways to Sunday that you can address any problem. You're going to have one of those ways. It may not be the most ideal way, and if it isn't the most ideal way, you'll figure it out soon enough. But if you have, it comes down to time investment. The amount of time you've invested into something won't be wasted if you stuck to like the core thing that you're trying to go for. You know, that's always the hard part. Is like you work hard on something, it takes you months and months to do it, and then, you know, someone looks at the final product and goes, "Nah, this doesn't do what I want it to do." You know, that's a hard thing to always overcome because you put a lot of effort into it, And that's why it's always best to keep it simple. The old KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid. And just stick to what you're actually looking for. And that way, if people look at it and they're like, nah, this is great, but nah, it doesn't do what I wanted to do. You didn't, like... It still hurts a little bit, but it's not as earth-shatteringly terrible, you know? Something you spent a month on versus something you spent a year on, you know? And it allows you to sort of rapidly iterate as well, because now you can say, oh, okay, this isn't quite what people were looking for, but I still have all these ideas, and I can see what they are kind of looking for, so I can pivot this easily because it's a small chunk of code versus this giant behemoth that you know, takes a long time to steer back into the right direction. Yeah, so just food for thoughts. I know that's a lot to take in, but it's not only are you managing the expectations of your eventual users, but you're managing your own expectations about what you're going to get out of it as well. And obviously be your own user too, you know? Like, at the end of the day, you might be the only user of the system, so make it do what you need as well. Right? You don't always have to focus entirely on what you think the community will want and all that stuff. At the end of the day, it's your creation. You should do what you want to do. Yeah. All that stuff. I know it's a lot. It's overwhelming. It's also why we get paid good money. You know, I might write, on a given day, I might write 10 lines of code, and I get paid a lot of money to do it. But it's because you spend most of your time going, alright, this is not the way I want to do it. I shouldn't do it this way. I shouldn't do it this way. I shouldn't do it that way. I shouldn't do it this other way. Maybe I'll do it this way and see how it works out. That's a good way of looking at it. That's exactly the way I would look at something too. You know, yeah. It's for me first, and if anyone else likes it, then awesome. All the better, you know? That's exactly the way to approach it. And, you know, at the end of the day, I get paid to write Java code, but yet I still dabble in all kinds of other languages. Because I enjoy coding. Sometimes it's just nice to do it as a hobby as well. Do I also do the cargo trading? I tried doing the cargo trading. I ran into issues. Number one, I don't really have a ship that can haul large amounts of cargo, so I have to rent. Number two, I've had a lot of instances where, like, I pick up a load of cargo to bring it somewhere, and that place only buys portions of it and not the whole thing, you know? Or I've had situations where, and this happened in 315 a bit, where none of the trading terminals were working for me at all. Like I'd pick up a load of cargo, and I'd go to sell it somewhere, and it wouldn't even show up as a sellable resource. So yeah, I kind of hope whatever was going on with that, I kind of hope that they fix that. I haven't tried the cargo trading since then. I don't know if that's been fixed in 316 or not. But it was a little bit annoying to have a full cargo hold of stuff. And then the other problem with that too is you have this full cargo hold and you can't do anything with it. You can't offload it. You know, you're just kind of stuck with it. I mean, I guess you could eject it into space, but then that's all your money gone as well. Yeah, that's why I thought the trading terminals have been kind of crappy. Honestly, what I want more than anything else, and I know it's coming, is to just be able to sell all the equipment we're looting. Because I'm a loot goblin through and through. And I love the idea of being able to just sell all the loot that I spend a lot of time gathering. And also, I would like for there to be some legitimate piracy. Like, I know right now you can do some piracy stuff against the NPCs, but you kind of have to bug the game out a little bit in order to do it. I mean, or you do it against players, but you kind of have to like finagle it a little bit. I would really like for there to be a legitimate way that I could just go off and say like in Wing Commander Privateer. Sorry. In Wing Commander Privateer, you would often, as you're flying around the universe, run across freighters, and you could, if you want to, if the police weren't around, and a lot of times they weren't, you could go blow up those freighters, and they would drop their cargo, and you could just tractor that on, and not only could you tractor cargo on, you could tractor on the pilots of the freighters and sell them off as slaves, which was pretty funny. I would like to see something like that where there's like NPC ships flying around that aren't police, right? Occasionally we see NPC ships, but they're really just kind of hanging there in space, not doing anything. I would legitimately like to see NPC ships flying around on routes doing whatever they're doing. Maybe they're hauling cargo or something, and be able to interdict them and tractor them and, you know, get on board and take them out and just take their ships and have their ships for yourself. Like, hey, I like this ship that this enemy pilot is flying. You know, I want to bring it on for myself. Because right now, as it is, I think you can glitch yourself onto some of the ships, but then you can't, because you don't own it, you can't like repair it or something. And to me, that's like, I mean, sure, that works. It encourages you to do it more, but it'd be nice if there was like a legitimate way that you could, well, legitimate in quotes, that you could, you know, do that kind of piracy and have a place to go where you can use it like your own ship. Now, maybe you can't fly that ship to anywhere except Grim Hex, but at least when you fly to Grim Hex, you can, you know, repair it and use it and all that stuff. And maybe you can buy a hacking chip where you can hack it so that it looks like it's your own ship too. So you can change the, you know, the owner identification on it to be your own. So that whenever you get scanned at a legitimate port like Port Olisar or something like that, it looks like you own the ship even though, you know, it's stolen. That kind of thing. You think it'll be in 318 when the cargo refactor's in? I hope so. I hope so, because that would be. People are kind of doing it now, but like I said, it's especially with the like I watch a bunch of the other streamers, Captain Burks and Moist Noodle and all that stuff, and like with the drug running stuff, events that they've been doing, like they've been going on to planets and just waiting for other players to load up their ships with the drug cargo, and then sneaking on their ships and flying them off, getting out of comm range, having another ship come in, taking all the stuff off of it, leaving that ship there, and going off and doing their thing. Like they've been doing like the kind of the piracy stuff, but they've been really sort of like, the game doesn't necessarily lend itself to it properly. You have to know all the quirks of the game in order to be able to pull it off without getting a crime stat and all that stuff. So, you know, it's there, but it doesn't feel like it's supported, you know, a supported gameplay thing. And maybe, you know, with the pyro system, which I suspect is coming at 318, maybe that's where CID is going to be like, all right, now you got actual piracy, because you're out of comm range almost all the time now. You're in an outlaw area, I guess. So I don't know. As long as they like put things there, like I don't want to just pirate players. I want to pirate. I want to pirate NPC. I don't particularly like pirating players because I feel like it's hard to distinguish between that and griefing. You know? I mean, obviously, if you're in a PvP, if you're in like a system like Pyro, it kind of goes with the game, right? Because you're in a lawless system. So I can see I can see that as maybe not being griefing, because you know ahead of time you're going into a system where you could get rolled on by another player. But I would like to see NPCs where you can do it on, and have it be obvious that it's an NPC, so that you can, if you don't want to be in a PvP situation, you just want to be in a PvE situation, you can do it. But you know, we'll see. We'll see what comes up. I'm very interested in what they're doing. I feel like we're at a point now. I feel like we're at a point where the game is getting to a point where we're actually seeing use my words here. English language, it shall be mine at some point. I feel like we're getting at a point where there's some meat on the bones as far as the game is concerned. It's still frustrating as hell at times, but there's like gameplay loops now that you can actually engage in, and it can be, really, really fun. It can be really, really frustrating, but it can also be really, really fun, You don't see it as griefing. Well, the reason I see it as griefing is that, and like I said, I agree with you when you're in a lawless system. But I see it as griefing when this is just me. It feels like griefing when you're just trying to play solo, right? This is one of the problems I have with some MMOs. Like, there's a lot of MMOs, people love their PvP MMO, and more power to them. But the problem I always have with them is, it's very often not possible for me based on my schedule to play with other players, right? So I'm often soloing things, and it's more rewarding for me to be able to solo a game sometimes, because I can just kind of because then the game's not dictating to me when I can play, right? Like if no one else in my group of friends wants to play, then I'm not SOL at that point. And so it only feels like griefing to me if you're doing it, if this is someone who's going to be a solo player, right? I mean, that's one of the things that I liked about New World, is that you could flag yourself for PvP, right? So if you were not interested in PvP at all, you just want to do PvE, you could, because you just don't flag yourself when you leave the city as a PvPer. And I kind of like I'm on board with it being like a flag that automatically is assigned to you if you go into a certain system. Like this system is PvP oriented, so everyone going here into Pyro, say, you understand that you're going to be PvP'd, and that's fine. But if you're not in a system, if you're in like a high security system like this, like Stanton system here, then I feel like it's then I feel like there should be heavier consequences if you're rolled on by another player. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's some kind of middle ground there that we can establish. Even if it's just like, even if it's just as simple as you flag yourself for PvP, or maybe if you have a crime stat, other players can have at it, can have their way with you, because you have a crime stat. Whereas if you don't have a crime stat, maybe you have extra protections in place. I don't know. Something like that, I feel like, makes it less sketchy in my mind. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to ruin someone else's enjoyment. Because here's the thing, like, especially when you get older, like me, you don't get a whole lot of hours in a day that you can play video games. And I'm always concerned that, like, I'm playing against someone who's only got an hour out of the day where they can play, and I've just ruined their entire enjoyment of that hour. Because they just wanted to pop in and have like a fun little time and just enjoy themselves for an hour and then pop back out again. So anything that can, like, and I know people hate that. I know people hate it when you try to cater to the casuals, and I get it. I understand, why they hate it, because it when you cater to casuals, it's hard to make both groups. Oops. God, what's going on here? A lot of lag here. It's hard to cater to both groups and have both of them be satisfied with what you've done. But I feel like there's ways that they can kind of meet in the middle somewhere. I have two of my guns are not working. That's interesting. I don't know if I'm having the charging bug, or they're just not charging. I think, yeah, I must be having a charging bug, because otherwise they would be, if they were damaged, they wouldn't be showing up at all. Oh, there they are. Now they're charging. Weird. Oh, I guess, you know what it was? That's probably not the bug. That's my power plant was probably not putting out enough energy to charge them. How many bullets does this guy take? Jeez Louise. There we go. Jeez. Wait, what happened to... Oh, man. There you are. Guys popping in and out of radar here. I think it comes down to... Comes down to if you know a route that normally takes a gun, try to take another so you don't run into issues transporting your cargo. Yeah. Yeah, knowledge is power. That's, you know. I can see that side of it as well. Yeah, I don't have any answers to what that would entail. It's just something that I always worry about. That's why I do NPC bounties all the time rather than player bounties. I'm always worried that, again, there's someone on who is, you know, through no fault of their own, they got a crime stat, and then they're just trying to relax. What is going on with this guy? Is this an enemy, or... You have a crime stat? Marside Mantis. Bounty Hunter. Huh. The random bounty hunter. It's an NPC bounty hunter. They don't have a... Doesn't look like they have a crime stat. This is weird. You have only the weekends to play. When you're out mining, it's not fun to lose all the ores you mine, but you know there's a risk. Yeah, I get it. I understand. Don't shoot it or get a crime stat. Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna shoot it. Just weird. I don't think I've ever seen an NPC bounty hunter before, which is weird. He doesn't have any crime stat or anything. I've just never seen an NPC bounty hunter like spawn in, which is kind of cool. Oh, it's new? Oh, okay. Yeah, nice ship though. This is the point where I'd be like, I can go take this guy's ship. But I know I'll get a crime stat for doing it, but I'm like, nice little ship there. Nice little ship going for him. Wow, that's cool. He shot for level 3 crime stat, yeah. Yeah, that's the first I've seen like NPC bounty hunters. So that's a thing. That's cool. I have that other symbol as well. That has returned. I don't know why that's returned. Oh, it's going away. Oh, weird. What are we doing here? What's my other contracts? Let's track them. that reminds me, I need to get voice attack on here. I usually use this when I'm in combat to change my power settings. Fortnite. Ready? Good? Alright, where's this guy at? Up here, looks like it's gonna be a space thing. That's good.
Drive is now on. Drive is now on.
Do a power to weapons. I don't think that worked. Power to weapons? I don't hear it. I think it's listening here. What's going on? Oh, did it change my custom keybind? Caps lock? No. Not working. Why is that not working? Oh, here we go. Back click, listen until recognition. Yeah, that's what I have. Power to weapons.
Certainly.
There we go. Alright. Just took a hot minute.
Think I need an exorcist right now. Oh, hear your voice by you.
Let's see in an Anvil Hornet. Okay. There this goes. Ah, and you with your missiles.
Take that!
Oh, okay. Thanks for hanging out with me, Fox. See you later. Have a good day. Have a good New Year's as well. And I hope everything works out with the app you're looking to make. Okay.
Shields damaged.
Come on. Come on now. Line up there and let me shoot you. Go.
Choose depth.
Ooh, okay. That was part of his ship went. Wait, did he eject? This guy eject? I think he ejected. That's hilarious.
Have fun with that.
All right, come on. Oh, excuse me. All right.
Heading down.
That guy's down. Man, this guy with these missiles. Oh, excuse me. All choked up here. Oh, there we go. All right. So, as we go in here, what's our next target? How many, verified freelancer bounty assessment. Go do that. Oh, 31 million. Okay. Let's see if there's another one in this area. Let's stop off for gas to do that one. Back to that one. Yeah, here we go. Here, do this one, and then we'll stop off, get some gas, and then we'll see if we can go grab that. Which one use it? See if we can go grab that other mission, which looks like it might be probably at Crusader. 31 million kilometers is probably Crusader. could be, I suppose, our corp. Alrighty then. Where is this? There's this low risk target at.
Radar contact. Radar contact.
Guy here. Okay.
Radar contact. Landing gear deployed.
Oop, I didn't want to deploy landing gear. Accidentally hit N.
Radar contact. Landing gear raised. Hydrogen fuel is at 50%.
Why does that keep popping off there? Barely doing any. Did it interceptor? Where's the interceptor? Okay, finally we're doing some
Shields
good damage to him. What a guy though, man.
radar contact. Radar contact.
Damn it. Why does that keep popping off? I think he keeps, every time that pops off, I think he keeps recharging. Like his hull keeps going back to normal. Let's kill some of these other things. I think the server is just eating itself right now. Come on. Come on.
Enemy down.
Come on down. Come on. It shields up so quickly here. Damn, man. I have to pull out some missiles here. If I can. And switch over to missiles is not easy. There we go. Neither of those missiles did anything. Neither of those missiles did anything. That's fun. Also not even really shooting at me either. Flying back and forth here. I'm not even moving either, he's just flying back and forth. Okay. Oh, that was a thing. All right, let's go and get refueled here. There is Whatchamadoosit Service Harbor. Here we go. Oops. God damn it, I did it again. Again, I selected it and then I didn't actually say set route. Oh. Right then. And away we go. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Some repairs, get refueled, get our new stash of missiles, rearm, all those things. Pull up here. Even our hydrogen fuel is down below 50%. Quantum's at 50%. Out there, we made quite a bit. How's our money looking? 66, 132. I mean, that's not terrible. A lot for. I mean, it's not the price per hour is not really there yet, but you know, still something.
Summer nights, midnight skies, just you and I, living. Time has faded fast, and I hope it would last, but can we work it out? In that summer I felt like we were never part.
We'll angle for here with the intention of that being the thing, the landing bay they're gonna sign me, but I kind of doubt it. We'll see. Oh.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Really? You're gonna scam me now? Come on. Being a pain in the butt here.
Okay, thanks. Your pleasure, proceed.
Where's my landing bay at? Oh, it is over here. Go. All right, quick pit stop here.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Back refuel, repair. From here, let's get the other one as the active. Like that. Alright, where are we gonna go for that? We just got repaired. Yeah, I figured it was Crusader. Daymar to be particular. No. I can turn my lights off. Go. Oh, I didn't hold down B. Damn it. Every so often I do that. It gets me every time.
Please visit again.
Alright, we got 31 million kilometers to go. So let's see what else was in the news this week. So that was the Forbes thing that we looked at. Let's see. Polygon's 50 most anticipated games of 2022. Alright, let's see. I don't usually go on Polygon, but let's... They have to say. Alright, what do we got here? So... big blockbuster AAA game releases. God of War Ragnarok, Starfield. I am looking for Starfield. Bayonetta 3. And Elden Ring. Diablo 4, Overwatch 2. Does anybody really give a damn about Overwatch 2? I don't know. We're going Cursed to Golf. Alright, so what do they have here? Advance Wars 1 and 2. Reboot camp, okay. Diana Crucis. Yeah, it's not really my thing. I like that it's a sci-fi thing, but it's not really my type of gameplay. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Okay, nobody wants that game. Arc Raiders I am interested in. See what that looks like. Although again, it's not necessarily my kind of game because looks like it's going to be more of a battle royale kind of thing, but we'll see. Bayonetta 3. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Action graffiti game. So Jet Set Radio influenced action graffiti game. Okay, man. The Callisto Protocol. Oh right, this is the one that was going to be basically Dead Space again. That seems interesting. Choo Choo Charles? The hell? Survival horror train game, Choo Choo Charles. Looks like an unusual combination of Blair Witch and a Legend of Zelda Spirit Track. Okay. Well, it's the horror game, I'm not into those. First to Golf. This one looks interesting. It's a Dark Souls side-scrolling golf roguelike kind of thing. This one, even though it's like a Souls-ish like thing, I'm really interested to see what that's like. That seems interesting to me. Destiny 2, The Witch Queen. Dune Spice Wars is a 4X game. I'm not that big into 4X, but it'd be interesting. Look at it. Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Still, I mean, I liked Dying Light 1, but Dying Light 2 has nothing about the marketing has grabbed me about that game. I feel like it's going to be, I need to watch somebody else play a little bit of it to see if it's something I would actually enjoy, because I have a feeling it's going to be a less like Dying Light 1 and more like an open world Ubisoft clone thing, you know? So I don't know. Seems like I don't know if I'm on board with it or not. Because you really want the story to be decent too, and it didn't seem like it had a decent story to it. Elden Ring, not my kind of thing. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Okay. Forspoken. Forspoken is one that I might take a look at. I'm interested to see what it's about. It depends on whether or not I can get it on PC or not. Oh yeah, PlayStation 5 and Windows PC. Yeah, I'll take a look at Forspoken. That's in May though. Ghostwire Tokyo. God of War Ragnarok. I haven't played any of the God of War games. Gotham Knights is another one that I might be interested in. Single player game with the option for 2-player co-op. Yeah, it's like the developers behind Arkham Origins and stuff are doing this one. I am kind of interested in that. Gran Turismo 7, not really been into the Gran Turismo series. Hogwarts Legacy, nah. Horizon Forbidden West, definitely. One I've been waiting for. I love Horizon Zero Dawn. Alright, let's see where we're at here. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Not really a Kirby player, so doesn't really get my jollies up. What else we got here? Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Yeah, I mean, I played Breath of the Wild. So I will probably play Breath of the Wild 2. We'll see how it comes together. Lord of the Rings Gollum. Not sure. Not sure on that one. Marvel's Midnight Suns. Yes. Tactical RPG. Yeah, I'll probably play Midnight Suns. Metal Slug Tactics. Nah. Multiverses. Super Smash Brothers inspired platform fighter. Nah, not my style. Nightingale. Yes, Nightingale. This is the really stylistic one. It had like portals and stuff. I'm definitely interested to see what that one is all about. When did that come out? Early access, just in 2022. It says. Ollie Ollie World, not my thing. Outlast Trials, not my thing. Oxenfree 2, not my thing. Pokemon Legends, not really my thing either. Redfall. Redfall is the Sega's open world co-op shooter about a city overrun with vampires. It's somewhere between multiplayer and single player. Yeah, I think I've seen some of Redfall, and it was just basically a glorified battle royale. I wasn't really interested in it with vampires. Rune Factory 5. No idea what that is. What is it? Farming. The Farm Sim Action RPG. Apparently the 5th one in the Rune Factory series, so. Sifu is kind of interesting too. Although it's a brawler, so I'm not sure how well I will take to a brawler. Because it usually requires some sort of hand-eye coordination that I cannot muster up. So there's that. And then Slime Rancher 2, most definitely. When does that? It just says sometime in 2022. Yeah, loved Slime Rancher 1. I will definitely play Slime Rancher 2. Because that's just good. It's just good fun. Somerville. I'm not sure about that. It's like a puzzle platformer. Sonic Frontiers. Yeah, we'll see. Platoon 3, not my thing. Stalker 2, I haven't really played the Stalker series. There's Starfield I'm definitely interested in. Ooh, you know what? I just realized I had... I'm hearing my ship move. What's going on here? Like, oh yeah, that's right. I had the cruise control on. Oops. Turn that off. Let this go. I almost nearly crashed into the ground because I had that on. What else we have? Ranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. Yeah. Not really a Final Fantasy guy. Stray, that's the cat thing. Not interested in that. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Arkhamverse version of Metropolis. We'll see. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Maybe. It looks like an arcade game. Looks like the arcade game. So yeah, maybe do that. Tina's Wonderlands. Yeah, maybe. Little Warhammer, not a big Warhammer guy. Triangle Strategy. Final Fantasy Tactics on Nintendo. You have to twist my arm to do that. Tunic. Yeah, I've played a little bit of Tunic, so I'll probably play more of that. But I think that's already out on. I think that's already out on early access, or at least there was a demo out there because I've played a little bit of it. I think. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think their choice has been pretty good, I guess. 50 games that they're interested in. Not bad. Not a bad list. Not a bad list at all. GoldenEye 007 suddenly has achievements on Xbox. Well, that's funny. Okay. Huh. Fully immersive D&D game creator adventure role. Oh, is this going to be like a 3D version of D&D pen and paper where you can do your pen and paper stuff but it's all in a 3D world? That might be interesting. I don't know who would put that much effort into it, but that'd be pretty interesting. Probably put some modules together or something. Actually, that would be interesting to take an AD&D, an old AD&D module. Like, I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, like Temple of Elemental Evil or something like that, and translate that into from the pen and paper into that game creator thing. That might be interesting. You have like the old modules and stuff. I'm sure it's not going to be very legal to do that, but I guess if you change the names and locations but make the story relatively same, I guess you could probably pass it off. That might be interesting from that perspective. I'm surprised people haven't done that. I mean, there's a lot of game like pen and paper creator things there. You can do digital pen and paper games. I'm surprised someone hasn't done that already, where they've taken like an old AD&D module from back in the day and translated it to a computer. Maybe they have. I don't really follow the space that much. Got clips here. In atmosphere. Okay, come on. Come on. Oh, don't collide. Stay behind him, though, where he can't shoot me. Oh, look at that. Look at that lovely engine destruction. Holy crap. That was beautiful. I can't wait until these NPC bounty targets have actual cargo. And go recover some cargo from them. That'd be nice. I know that's on the whatchamacallit, on the roadmap. But I can't wait until that becomes a thing. That'd be really cool. Get up cargo from the enemy bounties. All right, so that should give me the tracker license, right? What's my rep looking like? Clear security, I am 1. Bounty Hunters Guild, I'm a guild member. Going into senior guild member. Yeah, at least the Bounty Hunters Guild like me. Crusader security is warming up to me. Alright. What do we got here? Bounty Hunter, Journeyman Tracker license. Back at Hurston. Here we go, Chester Atkins. Let's get ones that are around here so I don't have to go all the way back to Hurston again. Not that I don't want to look up some more news, but I have to stop off for gas before I do it. Before I do that.
Photon drive is now on. Photon drive is now on.
Okay, he's 470 kilometers. Is there something relatively close by? Not really. OM3, that'll get me a little bit closer. Not much.
Photon drive is now on. Photon drive is now off.
44, that'll put me well beyond this guy. Alright, well, we're gonna have to fly there manually. Max speed and stay up in the... Stay up out of the atmosphere. Alright, what other news do we have here from the week? I haven't even left the news that is listed that's greater than 8 hours ago. Knockout City achievements for GoldenEye 007. Okay. What's going on here? Dirt 5 is about to be free for a limited time on PlayStation 4 and 5. Alright, that was 20 hours ago, so I don't know when that's going to happen. Halo Infinite player wins more than 100 consecutive free-for-all matches. Good for them. Overwatch can't go another year without major gameplay updates. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Overwatch is, even with a major gameplay update, is not gonna be doing anything other than circling the drain. I mean, Overwatch 2 was supposed to come this year. Who knows? Which arcade roundup? Yeah, the director of Valorant is leaving development of the game to work on something else, which is interesting. Because Valorant isn't even... Am I thinking of the right thing? Oh no, I'm thinking of Valheim. Okay. Yeah, Valorant is something, is the shooter. Okay, well that's fine. I thought, for some reason in my head I had the building game, Valheim. Oh, that's the music. I thought somebody was shooting at me. I'm like, what the hell? No, okay, that's fine. I get all those things confused. Valorant, Valheim, everything starts to sound like alphabet soup at the end of the day. You're like, all these different games. It's like, what? Which one are you talking about? What was that game again? What's that, Sonny? You playing them Mario shooters? Atlas Project Re-Fantasy development is wrapping up. What the hell is Project Re-Fantasy? Atlas has confirmed Project Fantasy development is wrapping up, finally. Developed by new internal team, Studio Zero, the news that Project development is wrapping up comes... Okay. What would you like to... For those of us out of the loop, would you like to tell me what Project Fantasy is? So last year, various series titles were released from Atlas. Completely different new work from Atlas. Okay, it's a new IP. Now reaches climax. You know, tease that while his work is a small effort he will later continue creating games. When asked what new details he could share right now, the Studio Zero director said they can't say anything concrete yet. We're preparing a lot of things. Well, then what good are you? Like, seriously. Like, how can I be hyped up for something that I have no idea what the hell it is besides a name that doesn't make any sense? His development on the Project Fantasy was progressing. Not much is known about the game. Small updates in 2017 and 2018, and its own reveal back in 2016. All we really know is that it's a fantasy RPG. Well, I mean, that's like... It's a fantasy RPG. I mean, okay. Sci-fi fantasy RPG? Fantasy? Talking Dragons? Like, what are we doing here? Games industry, New Year. Former Call of Duty dev says series needs revitalization. Well, that's why he's a former dev, I guess. Fortnite. Fortnite's getting Cobra Kai outfits. Is there anything that has not been advertised in Fortnite at this point? Okay. Sea of Thieves devs, Everwild is a real mess reportedly. Oh, is that the next expansion? Looking basically certain that Everwild, the next game from Sea of Thieves developer... Oh, it's a new game. Okay. Has suffered from troubled development since it was announced. A new rumor suggests that Everwild is a real mess, and even its developers don't really know what's going on. Okay. Sure. Alright. Oh, did I pass this? Oh. I thought I had passed this guy. I was like, did I not pay attention for long enough that I just went right by where I needed to go? G-forces now. Alright, what do we got going on here? Another atmospheric fight. And an eclipse as well. Whoa, and we got missiles coming in. Oh, what's going on here? Here we go. Okay. Alright, we got him. Was there more than just... Yeah, I thought there was another ship around here somewhere. There you go. Ooh. Very close as well. He's not shooting me though, which is interesting. Oh god, the lag. The lag. I'm literally not moving at all, forward or anywhere. I'm just spinning around in place here. Okay. Out of the atmosphere. All right, that was that. Taking care of business. Zombie field. Last seen at launch pad on Lyria. Okay, let's do that. Right, be near there, right? Or oh wait, is Lyria here? Oh god, way up there. That's right. It's out at Thurston, right? All right. Well, we'll have to make a stop off then before we get there. Yeah, actually, it's at Arcorp. So, what? The Arc L1? I only have 291, don't I? Yeah, it's 3-2. Feeling that would be the case. Personnel 5 have a station? It does. Alright, well, you can head there. Get some gas and then run the rest of the way. Alright, well, while we're waiting for that 26 million miles to tick off, let's see what else we got news-wise. Alright, so GameSpot has a list of the 33 most anticipated games. Let's see what how their list compares to Polygon's. I imagine there will be some overlap. Wait, where is it at? Wait, what? 33 most anticipated PC games for 2022 and beyond. It's just the paragraph text. And a video, auto-playing video that I don't... Oh, is it the video that talks it? this is what a weird article. Like, it's talking about PC hardware here and how great it is that it's going to support all these new games, but then it doesn't tell us about the oh yeah, they're doing it in video form. Screw that. Okay. Screw that. I mean, Starbase and stuff was on there already, so I could tell just from the little bit of the video I just saw. Here's every Cyberpunk 2027 life path option mapped out in one image. Call me when they've fixed their game. Mention impacts. She-Hulk could be coming to Marvel's Avengers. Well, anything to bring people back to that game, I guess. Oh yeah, there's this other one, Haunted Chocolatier, which I think is supposed to come out this year. That is a Stardew Valley-like game, but with instead of a farm, you create chocolate or ghosts. Which, I mean, hey, you know, may not be the most interesting of premises, but it's certainly certainly different. Twitch controversies, don't care. So IGN has a big 2022 preview show, but it's their podcast, so I probably have to listen to it. Here we go. Your Gamer Readers top 50 games of 2021. 2021's done. Let's talk about the most anticipated for this year. Not a whole lot news-wise here. It's a lot of just kind of... Again, it's the end of the year. We're in that lull. Yeah. So, high course station here. We're on fumes. Ooh, there was that weird graphics flash that I've seen a couple times. I don't know what that is, but I've seen it on, like, not only like places I've been to for the first time, but also terminals and stuff. Project Zomboid's still going strong. They just released update 41. Okay. Whoa. What's going on here? The graphics. Graphics, please. Whoa, wow, that's... Let me... Oof. What was that all about? Okay, this is not good. Damn. I don't know what's going on there with that. Let's you see love and attention.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
It's like when you look at certain angles, it goes crazy. Get our gear down. Yep.
Landing complete.
And we'll get our parent restock and all those things. And then move on to the next. Head on to our corp. I think we're good there. Let's select our corp here, the area, that ramp, spin up our drive. And away we go.
Long drive is now open. Landing gear raised.
Breath of the Wild is the greatest game ever made. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Certainly a good game. Perhaps even a great game, but best game ever made? I don't think so. I will tell you, I'm tempted to go back and revisit some games I've played already in the past. Like, one of the streamers I follow was playing Deus Ex Human Revolution, and as I was watching, I'm like, oh, I could really potentially do another playthrough of that. Another little lightly modded playthrough. I could do it. But there's so many games on my list I want to do, so who knows. And sometimes you gotta push things off the list, or temporarily, just to play the things you want to play. Sometimes you just gotta hanker in to play something that you enjoy, So why not? Alright, this will be, I think, the last bounty for today, and then we'll wrap it up and be back here tomorrow morning for more stuff. Because I got to do some more stuff today that I want to do. Perhaps get some code out there. We'll see if it all falls into place or not. If I'm happy with what I got, we'll see. We shall see.
Quantum drive is now off. Quantum drive is now off. Quantum drive is now off.
Okay, and then launch pad is where we're gonna go. Wait, is he on the ground?
Quantum drive
Or is it in
is
the air?
now off.
I don't think I brought a gun with me. So, I may end up just shooting them in the air, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. Unless this is one of those facilities you have to go underground into. May very well be.
Quantum drive is now off.
It looks like it's an atmosphere fight. Maybe? Yeah, it's definitely an atmosphere fight. Yeah, there'd be at least some kind of missile coming. I'm waiting for it.
Shields damaged.
Where the ground is here. It's at nighttime. A little bit rough. Cane here.
Shields damaged.
Attention, people of Crusader. The recent blockade of quantum travel has been ended. While travel may resume as normal, the culprits behind this attack are unfortunately still on the loose. We at Crusader Security will continue to pursue justice. But we kindly ask that you please use extra caution when traveling to ensure your safety. Thank you.
Okay. That event's over, I guess. Guy's down. And where's this other guy at? He's in a cutty?
Shields
Whoa. Okay. He's not really messing around, is he? Cuddy Black. I'm just knocking the sides of his ship off here. I wonder if he would actually, if I knocked his engines off, if he would actually fall down and hit the ground here. Be interesting. I doubt it, because you got like, whatchamacallit, the various RCS thrusters, but it would be kind of cool. It's really annoying here. There we go. All right. Very nice. Oh, I would. Well, thank you, DLive team, for featuring my page on the DLive homepage. But of course, I would get featured on the homepage just as I'm starting to wrap things up here. Let's get back to the nearest. Will probably be Bajini Point here. The nearest space station. We can. Tell me I can't get a direct line to Bajini Point. Okay, what's going on here? All right. All probably obscured by the planet here. See if I can find an orbital marker. There we go. Let's get up to there at least. Maybe that'll pull me out of the shadow. See now. There we go. All right. Head on over here and do a thing. Do. Okay, where is the heck? Where's the station at? Is it not loaded in? Oh, there it is. There we go. Got ourselves station to land on once we get into range here. Rolling right along. What's our money's at now? 73. How much did we, I'm curious how much we made on the call to arms. Looks like we've neutralized 6 crime stat 5s, 1 crime stat 4, 8 3s, 5 2s, and 1 1. So, not bad. Not bad at all.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Right on over here. I think I can have my lights on still. Turn those off. Although, honestly, we're landing in the dark as it is, so having them on is probably a good idea. Landing gear out.
Landing gear deployed.
And we're down.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Here, refuel and restock as we do. Let that kick off. Before we get out of the ship here. The repairs get done. Okay. Looks like it. Looks like someone just took off too. On the other side there.
System off.
Oops.
Welcome to the product space industries. Enjoy the ride.
There we go. Everything's shut down. Get out of here. Exit left. And away we go. Cool. We'll store our ship and probably call it there. I can get back to other things I need to do. But I do enjoy here these weekends where I can just kind of sit around, relax, play some Star Citizen. All good stuff, I would say, personally. Alright, store our ship. There it is. Very good. Okay. And I think that will do it, my friends. Let's go get a nice view up here. As I say, thank you so much, everyone, for watching and hanging out and keep me company and all those things. I'll be back tomorrow morning with some more Star Citizen. Same bad time, same bad channel. And well, looks like we might be getting a sunrise now. Watch some of that. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow morning, some more Star Citizen, and then that will conclude my streaming week. And as usual, I'll be off Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday we'll be back with finishing up Assassin's Creed Syndicates completely with the story and everything. And then Thursday and Friday we'll be back with more Titan Quest, potentially finishing off Act 4 of that and going on to Act 5 DLC, which might be Atlantis, might be the Act 5 DLC. I don't know. That might be just completely separate. I don't know. We'll see as we get there. And then next Saturday and Sunday, we'll be back with more Star Citizen. That is the schedule as I know it, my friends. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you. And hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Until then, see you, bye.
You can know how much I like you. Just stay in this room alone. Can't keep my hands on myself. I'm losing control. I'm losing control. And I can't think of you any other way but mine. And every time I dream, I just look into your eyes. Every time I dream, I just look into your eyes.
Who are you, and how did you get in here?
I'm the locksmith. And I'm the locksmith.